The whole story with Anderson Cooper, next on CNN.
In the race for the White House tonight, new polls show Donald Trump and Kamala Harris in a dead heat as we stand tonight, just 37 days away from the election. Both candidates spent the weekend in crucial battleground states addressing hot-button issues for voters. Trump, during his in Pennsylvania, took aim at Harris on immigration. Obviously, the comments that we showed you earlier as well. Meanwhile, Harris traveled to the border in her first visit there since becoming the Democratic nominee, where she vowed to crack down on illegal border crossings.
If Kamala Harris wins this election, she will overwhelm Pennsylvania cities and towns with illegal immigrants and migrants, and Pennsylvania will never, ever be the same.
As president, I won't only bring back the border security bill that Donald Trump tanked. I will do more to secure our border. We will pursue more severe criminal charges against repeat violators.
Joining me now is the pollster and communication strategist, Frank Luntz. And it's great to have you here, Frank, because immigration obviously is a huge issue for voters. That's why we saw Harris at the border on Friday night in Arizona. And you did a focus group recently about just how much this issue matters to the voters that you spoke with. I want to share some of that with people.
The thing for me is that there's a distinction between an illegal immigrant and someone who's entered the country legally, who's seeking asylum and trying to, become a citizen. And the other question is, what do you want? They're here. What do you want? What are we going to do with them? I'd love to hear that. The people who think it's a problem.
Get them out of here. Deport them.
Send them home.
Send them home.
By leaving illegals here, you undermine the system of legal immigration because you send the message that laws can just be tossed out the window.
Now, a lot of voices that we're hearing from there. What stood out to you, Frank, from what you heard of these voters with very different views?
Well, in that session, it went on for 11 minutes. I did not interrupt even once. They didn't need a moderator. For 11 minutes, they took the conversation completely in a different direction. I applaud CNN for using the most rational, responsible, sensible commentary because this is an issue that is out of control. The public is very hyped up about it, very angry about it, wanting to solve the issue, complaining about both political parties, both candidates, and that they're doing nothing except arguing. The situation seems to be getting worse.
Well, and on that, we're seeing numbers that show Harris has the edge with registered Latino voters. It's a new polling that's out today from NBC. But she's actually further behind than where Democratic nominees have been in the past. What do you attribute that to?
And it's a critical finding. Back in 2020, Joe Biden beat Donald Trump by more than 30 points among Latino voters. Right now, Harris's lead is only 13 or 14 points, half of that. And that comes into play in states like Nevada and Arizona that are critical, 2 of the 7 most important swing states. Number one, there is a split between the black and the brown community over the Biden administration, Biden and Harris, and the feeling that they're being left behind. Number 2, economics, that they see that Donald Trump, although the division between Trump and Harris has narrowed somewhat, Trump still has the advantage on the economy in general and inflation and affordability in particular. And number 3, they know that they matter. And so they're paying much more attention. And they used to be a core constituency for the Democrats. And now, quite frankly, they're probably the largest group that is truly up for grabs in 2024.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating to see the impact that has on this presidential election. But Frank, I have to also ask you about something. Trump earlier today, and he did part of this yesterday, but today he was talking about this violent crackdown on crime in the United States. I want you to just listen to what he said at a rally.
I walk into you see these guys walking out with air conditioners, with refrigerators on their back, the craziest thing, and the police aren't allowed to do their job. One rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately. End immediately. It'll end immediately.
You know, when you hear that, I mean, he's literally describing the plot of the movie Purge for people who haven't seen it. But Frank Luntz, just listening to that, talking to voters, you know, when we're talking about these undecided, persuadable voters, how do you think they hear something like that?
Well, you're getting right to the point, and this is critical. Voters, these undecided voters, don't like how Donald Trump talks, but they do agree with him on many of the most important issues. They approve of Harris's approach of focusing on the future, but they question her on issues like this, whether she's strong enough and tough enough. So the rhetoric is not effective, but focusing on the issue is, and that's why they're still undecided voters, because quite frankly, they don't want to vote for either candidate. What I tell people in speeches is the good news, we're going to be done with all of this in less than 40 days. The bad news is that one of these candidates has to win. This is the frustration for undecided voters. They like the policies of one candidate and they prefer the persona of the other candidate.
Frank Luntz, it's a fascinating look at this race and where these voters stand. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And up next, more on the numbers that Frank and I were just talking at 8 o'clock. Right after this, the whole story with Anderson Cooper. You're going to hear CNN senior political